Beautiful people, thank you so much for joining us. I am here with a man that needs no introduction. He's a living legend. We all know this is someone that we literally, I grew up watching, on the screens. And right now I'm speaking with him. I think it is an honor to have the one and only RMD, sir. Thank you so much for finding the time to join us at the Voiceover conference. Of course, we all were looking forward to seeing you at the conference today, but I mean, thank God for technology. We are still able to speak with you. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. So it's an honor to be here.
I have a few questions, and one will be, of course, what we want to talk about is majorly the spirit of Africa, because for me personally, I think I even from afar, we can see that you carry the essence of being an African: hard work, intelligence, culture, all of that. It's radiating you. I don't know how you do it, but I'm sure that we probably will find out. But when you think of the spirit of Africa generally, what comes to your mind as an individual?
I think it is encapsulated in the one that we came up with in Wari, which is Wari na the carry last. That is at the core of the spirit of Africa. Every continent, every race, every place has a rhythm and has a vibration. And Africa does have. Africa's vibration is very high. The colors are very high. It's a kaleidoscope of all things beautiful. And for a continent that has been so maligned and raped and abused and pillaged constantly by our neighbors, and to still be able to stand shoulder to shoulder and be able to survive in today's world, it embodies and captures, the essence of being in Africa. We never say die. We never give up. We do not consider our circumstances and let that, rule our progress or determine how we will end up. Yes, we do not have a head start like everybody else above us, or we do not have advantages. The system, like they say, has been rigged from day one by the West, that we live in their world because we live in the of the West. The time that that the rest of the world lived in our world, has passed. And just like the earth and everything else rotates, a time will come when all of this will also change. It is the growing pains of reasserting the African spirit and reasserting who we truly are that we are all going through right now. But to answer your question in a more precise form, is to say that the very term "Wari na the carry last" is what captures the spirit of Africa.
Africa. Wow. Thank you so much for that one. Thank you. I wanted to ask what time specifically did you realize that your voice was your I would say your power right now? I mean, yes, you are an actor, a legend in all essence of it, but your voice is your means of communication. At what point? I mean, because I know that a lot of young people right now some of them are wondering, because most of the people at the Voiceover conference, they're young people, some in the university, and they are wondering, how on earth did he even find out? And at what point will I realize that I have a voice, whether as a voice actor or as a stage actor? At what point did you discover that, okay, my voice, has something and I should pursue this dream?
To be honest, my voice was always something that was laughed at and scorned. As a younger actor, when I hadn't had good voice training and didn't know how to modulate well and all of that. After if I have like a 3-4 day performance, by the second day my voice is gone. you know.
Wow.
Yes. So I had to learn how to control my voice so I don't lose it. I don't forget in the times that we lived in as younger actors, stages were not, they didn't have microphones in stages. That I just finished a stage play in London where everybody had a microphone
A
and
microphone head.
but
Yeah.
then we used to project.
Yes.
We played in massive halls that the acoustics were horrible, and we needed to project and make sure that the last person, you
Could
know,
hear.
could hear. That was the day when those were the days when we would stand on stage and you want to recite a poem, like and you stand there and say, in vain your bangles cast, charm circles at my feet. I am a good calling for the first and a repeated time. That kind of thing. Um,
Yeah.
but over time, a few of my drama teachers made me understand that I had a unique voice, and that if I understood how to enunciate and modulate and breathe properly, then I won't have a cracked voice after the first or second performance.
Performance.
And when you start doing television and you hear your voice on television, you just understand that it's different. It sounds different. And I've been in places where people are backing me, and I say something, and they'll turn and say, "Oh, immediately I heard your voice. I knew it was you. Your
It
voice."
was, yeah.
So it's again, it's that thing that God gave all of us. God gave all of us this unique voice. It's like your own DNA imprint and all of that. Your voice is your voice. There are people who have abilities to, of course, mimic other people and all of that.
Mm,
You know,
mm,
um, but your voice is your voice. And I realized that as an actor after, like I said, my drama teachers were able to tell me what to do in terms
mm.
of training my voice and controlling my voice, and of course how to not hurt it. So I think
Yeah.
I think I understand my voice and how to treat it a lot better now with experience. And yeah, and it has held it has helped me in many ways as an actor.
Mm.
Not big on voiceovers because it's only of late that the animations are beginning to come.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I did a few radio plays in my youth service. I still do voiceovers for a few commercials that I have. But I admire a lot of voices. Shego Arinze is one of the used to be like the
The old
he,
IG. Yeah.
he was like in my generation.
Yeah.
He's way younger than me, but he's part of my generation, so to speak, as young actors.
Mm.
He did a lot of voiceovers, and he's a master in doing that.
Yeah.
And of course,
Yeah.
other
Agree.
people who worked on radio, and there are a lot of good voices right now.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, sir. I mean, when you were speaking, I realized that you made mention of you kept mentioning your drama coach, your teachers, and all that, and I wanted to ask how important it is to get education, the place of education in your voice journey or in your voice acting journey. How important? Because I mean, I realize that some people are naturally skilled at certain things. I mean, when you grow up in a particular environment, there's a tendency that you'll be very fantastic at maybe speaking well. In fact, sometimes acting. Is it enough, or it makes sense to still get some education, get some mentorship? I mean, because hearing you speak, I realized that some people were saying, okay, do this, do that, pointing some things that you probably would have ignored, right? So how important is education when it comes to your voice work?
It's look, education doesn't mean some formal four walls with a system and all that. It just means
Right.
having to go through some kind of training,
Right.
or some kind of coaching, and there is no end to it, of course.
Mm.
Until today, there are people who will see you and tell you, give you secret to how to modulate and how to make your voice more useful.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But education is very key. Like every other young warrior boy in my generation, my speech was horrible. My English was horrible. I still said shush and white check and all those things. He was my drama teacher. That when I say drama teacher, I'm not even talking university. I remember, because I loved to be in debating society and drama and all of that. There was a teacher in my secondary school who took interest in me, and he would say, "Richard, it's not church, it's not church, it's a church." And we will have a good time laughing at him saying church.
Yeah.
All of that was just getting me to understand that there were better ways to pronounce some of these English words that were tricky.
Yeah.
And he saw my potential, and he just wanted. I remember years ago, in secondary school, after around 6:37 is when you go to the dining hall, and this man will keep me back, and drill me with pronunciations and all that. And my classroom was just next door to the dining hall. I'll be hearing the clanging of plates and everything in the dining hall. My ear will be there. My eyes will dart to the. He will say, "My friend, look at me."
Of course.
And I used to hate him so much. Like, this man, just let me go and eat my food before they
Right.
take my hand off before I get there. But fast forward years later, I have him to thank for all the interest that he showed in me and all the mock news that we used to read in those days at festivals and events. Those things are part of education that shaped me. And by the time I got to the University of Benin, it became a little bit better. Of course, training doesn't stop in universities. It continues even after universities. My early sojourn in Lagos, on the Lagos state, met a lot of other actors from different universities, and got uprooted from Morita, Lagos, and so your accent tends to change. And then start working on making it not to be completely Delta or completely Yoruba.
Yeah.
That's something that's neutral, and we're still working every day. It doesn't stop. Education doesn't stop.
I agree. I agree. Thank you so much. I mean, with that, my next question will be, how do we stay authentic as Africans? Now, I mean, just like your story, you moved from Warri to Lagos. There was interference of Yoruba. There's the Warri, but you needed to stay authentic in a way that, you're not sounding like, oh, you're just a Warri guy or even a Yoruba guy, but something that cuts across, right? But at the same time, not eroding your authenticity as an African. Now,
authenticity, just so we're clear, authenticity to me is not about accent,
right?
Or voice. It is about values.
Values.
It is your values that defines your authenticity.
Your authenticity.
Yes. So if you say your values are African,
right?
It is not the way you communicate it. It is not in the voice or in the accent that you communicate your values. It is in the essence of the values itself.
Of the values.
That is what it is. That is what the authenticity is. Representing Africa, in its truest sense and form. Understanding, what it means to be African when you are standing with other people from other cultures. That is what it means for me. Just because definitions are very important.
Very important.
If definitions are understood across board, then communication becomes even better.
Right. Okay, the question I was going to ask was, I mean, with the fact that there's right now animation coming into the system. There's there's Yanu, and all that, and you see some talents trying to form accents and trying to play to maybe to the Western world, those kind of things. And I mean, there's the part of being like right now, there's the thing about we want authentic Nigerian speakers, within the voiceover space. We want authentic, African, those kind of voices, right? And with all of these influences, some talents would start trying to say, okay, let me sound American, let me sound British, but the question would be, how do we stay in our original self, right?
That's
While
why
we're still offering the international gigs, we're still giving our ourselves and our expressions and our all of that, that's
the good thing, King, the good thing is this: every character has an identity. All right. So
yeah.
and then it depends on who the producer or the director is and what they are looking for. If they are not looking, so if for instance my character is South African, all right, and he's Zulu or closer, I don't know how to do the clicks.
Closer, yeah.
So it depends on what the character that you play. And if the character is the type that needs an accent and you can do it, then fine. If, for instance, I'm playing a tortoise, an African or a Nigerian or an African animated series, and I say, okay, this is how I would like to do the tortoise. If the director is fine with it, then I'll go that way. So there is no question about being authentic, or remaining true to yourself or whatever. It is the character that decides. Sometimes what happens with the bigger budgets, so also you younger folks know, younger actors know, is that the studios play safe. So it's not that they are not aware that there is a guy in Nigeria who, if we give this voice to,
so we'll give us
this Igbo guy, he will kill it.
Yeah.
But the point is, they want instant recognition, or they want to play safe. They want to make sure that with box office there is a guarantee already from get go, or ab initio they know that their monies will come back. So instead of getting me, for instance, to do the voice of a worry boy in an animated series, they will get a Denzel, or they will get an Idris Elba.
Sound close to a worry boy.
Yes, that's it. And so then you are not looking. You are not just looking at the voice. You are looking at the person behind the voice. So there is enough curiosity. There is enough buy-in. It's all about the commerce. So until our entrepreneurs, investors, and all that begin to invest in our stories and decide the kind of people or voices that will be behind those characters, we can't help but let's follow the studios the way they want to be seen, or the way they want to be heard. And most times when they even have voice coaches or accent coaches, it doesn't really make much when you are dealing with a bigger star who is just bringing his presence.
His presence.
And
it supersedes the voice.
Yes, and not anything else. You understand what I'm saying? So it is for characters that are not. So it's when they have the heavy hitters already that they begin to introduce, the authentic, your definition of authentic African voices. Iterate. Look, we did Black Panther, right? The South African actor, or the Chadwick, it's an American, right?
Yeah.
It's not like there's no African actor that can do that. Well, it's about the studios and what they want and how they want to play it. It's about safety. It's about not going out of what is safe. So it's going to take some time before all of that will begin to change. They've done films about. I mean, they did. Mandela was played not by South African. So how do you think the South African actors feel when you are casting Mandela?
And an American.
Yes, you're casting Stephen Biko, You are bringing in a Denzel to play Stephen Biko. You are
So
bringing
yeah.
Idris Elba to play Mandela. You're bringing.
But we need to change this narrative. How do we do that? Because it's important to a lot of actors.
I just told you, you cannot until the people who think like you will put their money down and get an African actor to play an African character. Because, like I said to you, authenticity for the studios, it is not about the accent.
The accent.
It is about the core value
personality.
Of Mandela. What did Mandela represent? So getting an American to play Mandela for them doesn't mean anything for them.
Yeah.
It is about the values there that you'll be concentrating on. You know, I mean, actors feel bad. Even Americans, it happens to African Americans as well. There are British actors that are brought in here to play American characters. Idris Damson and co. That a lot of our Nigerian boys, you know, from Britain, come here and look at Talusha, the guy who did Get Out. You know, he played the Black Panther character. What is it called? I've forgotten the character that he won the Oscar for. So it's all of that. You have to look beyond that. So and try and make sure that your definition of authenticity doesn't just end up with voices that are voiced by actual Africans or actual Nigerians, you know, living within the African space. I know that's not the kind of answer that you want as a voiceover person, but it's the reality that you live in. This is the reality that you live in.
It's the hard truth. Yeah, it's the hard.
It is. He who pays the piper dictates the tune. You know, I call a musician to come and play my birthday. I can stop the music and say, "Hey, my friend, play this thing for me. Play Happy Birthday for me." Yeah. Because I'm the one paying. He cannot say no. He can't play it. I said, "They pack your thing
and you're not getting. In fact, make a refund."
Yeah. So you know, I can even humiliate him for that. So take the money and get out. You know. So that's what it is. It is also for you to understand that world and the rules that govern it. The only way you can break the rules is to find the resource or the resources that can make you control the narrative. Right now, we are all partakers in the story they are telling.
So it is what they give to us, we get.
Yes. How many times have you guys put money together to do a film that all characters and everything,
voice actors,
all the voice actors will be Nigerians? Or
I know now. I know.
Where will you sell it? Who will distribute it for you? Which name will you use to sell it? If you don't get Idris Elba or Idris, the Nigerian young boy, or you don't get Kalusha, or don't get Chiwetel, who will you use to sell it? If you go to Netflix and say, "Oh, we have this beautiful, authentic Nigerian story," it is one out of a million that falls through the crack. So it is nothing personal. If you want to change the narrative, then you have to write the narrative. You have to dictate the narrative.
With all of these challenges now, what can young people do to stay relevant and stay consistent? Because I mean, these are some of the challenges.
Young people are already doing it. It starts from making sure that at least the stories that represent our values are up there in the mainstream. Getting our actors to voice them, it is also coming. They are creeping underneath the bigger stars, and the time will come, like I said, when the investors see enough green light, and they will now be able to put their money where their mouth is. And maybe, who knows, from this conference someday soon, some young person becomes a millionaire in dollars and decides to start the first, all African voice over story, that will be on Apple or whatever.
We have one already, anyways. I mean, big shout out to
that's why I'm answering you. That it's already
it's
the
happening.
Younger generation is already doing it by first writing the stories that truly represent our voices. Now, remember, definition. Our voices doesn't mean our physical voice. It is our values. So you write the story. The story is an authentic African story that represents African values. Whether it is being voiced by Nigerians in the diaspora or Ghanaians in the diaspora, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. When we get there, when we need to be able to, to do that. But the fact that first things first, we are in there. I did a film recently, and my first instinct when I got the role was to reject it. But my agent said to me, Richard, no, put a leg in there. It doesn't matter whether they or not they treat you right. But right now you don't control anything. We are not in control of anything. You are partaking in their story. But when you get in there and you tell the part that they've asked you to tell, keeping your dignity, they will see it. And who knows? It is from there that you progress into getting better roles that will truly capture. I mean, let me give you an example. Sidney Poitier started his career in the height of when black people were still not considered human beings. But he refused to take roles that will not, depict him, that will keep his dignity. Right? And he persisted and survived all of that. Without a Sidney Poitier, there will be no Denzel. There will be no Morgan Freeman. And a lot more actors, even me, people like us that are just, trying to get our voices heard internationally. That man went in there and fought against a system that would rather see him as a nobody. But he said, no, a black man has dignity, and I will not do roles that will not show that dignity.
Show that.
So that's what is happening now. The young people they're writing their own stories, they're creating their own animation, they're making their own decisions, and they're saying, this is the path that we want to tow, and we're going to tow it, come rain or, high waters.
Wow. Thank you, sir. This is some good stuff, right? And I would just say that anyone listening at this point, you should know that the only way out is to keep pushing, keep writing your own story, keep putting in the work, and very soon, right? I have 2 or 3 more questions, and of course, the one question, then we'll talk about radio voice, because I think that we really need to touch on that. I would just want to hear your thoughts on how we can stay relevant as Africans, even with AI and synthetic voices and all of that.
Yes. So let me ask you, what's your reality today? What is your reality today? You're asking me a question about AI. Like if we are scared enough, it will go away. Is it ever going to go away?
No, it's here and here to stay.
So that is your reality. So why are we just dancing around the periphery of it? Embrace the thing and see how you can master it and deploy it into making sure that your life hereafter is better. It's a tool. AI has always been here. Mankind has just only developed to the point where it can really truly scratch it properly and deploy it properly. I'm 64 years old. You shouldn't even be asking me how you can stay relevant and authentic. Use the AI to do the things that you cannot do, because now you can sit in your studio using AI. You can do an entire film that captures the African spirit. You don't need to hire anybody. You can create all the characters through AI. So why are we, even romancing the subject of AI like it's something to be feared? No. Yes, there are going to be scary issues about it, but that is what fire is. If you don't deploy fire well, it will burn you and it will burn your house. But if you deploy it well, it will melt metal and make metal become liquid, and you can form things, and mankind create wonders with it. All right?
Yes, sir.
It's very dangerous. It kills people. But if you are holding it in your house and somebody breaks in, it will prevent somebody from killing you or robbing you in your house. AI is a tool. it is a tool,
Mm.
just like every other thing.
Really?
A plane crashes and kills everybody on board, but people will still board the plane the next day. Because
In fact, the next minute, yeah.
if they need to get from point A to B, they need to board a plane. You do not have an omelette without breaking an egg. You know,
Mm.
I sometimes I get tired because some of these questions are lame.
Mm.
Embrace it, learn it, study it, and know how best to deploy it.
That's it. Plain and simple. Absolutely. Thank you, sir. So, Radio Voice, right? I mean, Radio Voice has been in town. Cinemas, Nigeria. Halls sold out. Congratulations, sir. You're doing incredible. I'm sure that some younger actors are like, God, when? But what brought about Radio Voice? Let's just know about it a bit. It's still in the cinemas, I know, so that maybe some of us can pack some people and say, oh, yeah, let's go and see it. But let's talk about it a bit and the inspiration behind it and what you were trying to achieve.
Uh, I don't know what I was trying to achieve really, apart from just tell a story, a good story. Um,
Right.
I'm a storyteller, so my scriptwriter wrote the story. I liked it, and I thought that I was actually going to direct it as my my directorial debut, so to speak. But um,
Mm.
because of the sensitivity, the women issues, and all that, I also thought that maybe the woman is best to tell the story, and
Yeah.
that's excuse me. That's how come I got Siama to direct the movie, and I'm so glad that I did because all the sensitivities, all the sensibilities that we needed to retain and keep, we're able to do that, and that's why it's so relatable. The film is highly relatable. The critics love it. The fans love it. And yes, you can still go see it.
Yeah.
Cinemas will arrange special screenings for you. We are no longer in the cinemas, so to speak, but there are a few small cinemas that are still showing it.
Showing it.
But if you want specialized screenings, yes, all of that arrangements are still
Perfect.
available.
Perfect.
July 3rd, I just got into America this morning. On July 3rd, we're looking forward to
The
the
premiere.
the Hollywood premiere, which I'm looking forward
From
to.
Warri to Hollywood.
Yes, sir.
That's something.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well
We're
done, sir.
holding it down and keeping the worry values.
Right. Very important. Thank you so much. I think I would just wanted to say one or two things about the Voiceover conference. This is the sixth edition we're pushing. I mean, we just want to hear from you what your thoughts are about
Well,
what we're doing.
the fact that you've done six, this is going to be the sixth one means that there's need for it. Um, and my advice would just be, keep pressing and keep pushing because, not to do that would be a crime. And
Mm.
the more people gather together with common interest, there's no limit to what you guys can do if you all pull together. It's like a rope. The more intertwined it is, and the more people that are in there with ideas, you can expand the scope and change people's lives and change the narrative that you guys are talking about. As a storyteller, the
Mm.
more voiceover artists that there are, the better, because uh, a time will come when the African stories will rule. Will rule. You know,
Yes, the future is Africa.
Yes,
Yes.
it is. No, 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 no doubt about that. I mean, you see how phenomenal Lion King is. Every time
Hmm.
there's a rebirth, and there are so many stories.
Untold.
Oh my goodness, the land is pregnant.
Mm.
And you can tell it's the next frontier. You can tell it's palpable. You can touch it, but we have not
Yes,
been
sir.
able to really explore it yet. And I can't wait for that to happen. And
Yes, sir.
like to just take and
Thank
I
you,
wish I
sir.
could be with you in the
Yeah.
future. I hope that you guys have fun and see you on the seventh one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. This has been insightful and rich. Thank you. We truly appreciate you. All right, sir.
Thank
Wishing you all
you.
the best.
All
Yes,
right.
sir. Bye.